Hi, my name's Judy and welcome to my channel. Today I thought it would be interesting. I was sitting there thinking the other day, oh my goodness, if I was headed out to an event somewhere of some description and realised halfway to the event that I didn't have any makeup and I really wanted to have makeup for the event. I'm quite happy to go to an event without any makeup, but there are some times where I want to have makeup, where I want to be looking that little bit more professional. And I was wondering, what would be the basics that I could get away with to put a face of makeup and look respectable for that event, what I deem to be respectable, remembering that I wear makeup for me, not for anyone else. What would be the minimum that I could get away with to produce a face that would make me feel professional? And this is the look that I've come up with. Now, the number of items that I've come up with is down to a bare minimum. I think I used 5 makeup items, 4 brushes and a beauty blender. And in one of those bits, one of the products that I bought, the brush would have come with it. There are ways that you can get around this and get things. Now, if you're interested to see how I came up with this look and the various different products that I used to do it, then please keep on watching. And in the description box, you'll see a list of the products I've used or mentioned, or similar ones, because some of the stuff that I've used is now obsolete. So I've tried to put in some stuff that is very similar into the description box, and those are all affiliate links. So if you click through to Amazon and you order from them, then you help me out a little bit, and I'm very grateful, but please don't feel that you have to. There are other places I would recommend, boots.com and superdrug.com, to do shopping for these things. But basically the scenario here is, if you can imagine, you've left home, you've gone, either you've got to the event or you're on the way to the event, and you realise you have no makeup. You run into your local pharmacy, because nearly every pharmacy in this country and nearly every supermarket in this country can provide you a full face of makeup. These are the sorts of products that I would recommend to you to buy to produce a face that looks a bit like this. But you wouldn't have to buy these exact products. You can buy similar products. And I'm basically showing you how I created this look. So if that interests you, then please keep watching. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to put on is probably some foundation, because that needs a bit of work here. So when you go in, you might find that the only colours that they've got available in wherever it is that you're shopping are maybe too light for your skin or whatever. You're making do with what you've got available on the shelf, and you don't want to spend a huge amount of money because you've still got stuff at home, but you haven't got anything with you, and you've really got to get going. So I found this e.l.f. Foundation. It has an SPF of 15. However, if it is a bright sunny day or you're living in a hot climate, I would always advise you to put sunscreen on underneath your foundation, because it's always a good idea. Never rely on the sunscreen that is in a foundation, because the amount of foundation that you would have to use in order to get benefit from the sunscreen would be probably more than is in the bottle. So I've got this, I picked up this NYX Beauty Blender. This was about £6, and the e.l.f. foundation was about £6.50. So this is going to get me going. So I just have a little mirror here. Now, it might be that the shop that you go into to buy this emergency kit, you either don't have the time to sit and colour match your foundation to get exactly the right shade, or they don't have the range that's got your particular shade in it. So my tip for you is to go lighter than matches your skin, not darker. It is easier to darken your skin up than it is to lighten it down. Not only that, we're not going to use a concealer. So by using a lighter shade of foundation, we can make sure that our face looks brighter and more alive using a lighter colour, then it means we save money on having to buy the concealer. So when we get back home and we retrieve our normal makeup kit, we've got the concealer from there. Now, this particular foundation layers up quite well. So if I'm finding that it's not covering in particular areas, I can just go in with a little bit more foundation and lighten those areas. Okay, so that's our foundation done. And if I were at home, I would possibly put in a concealer. I might do various other bits and pieces, but you know, we're out. This is an emergency. I didn't get everything. So I've got to just work with what I can get for a minimal amount of money. My next item that I recommend that you get to bail yourself out is a brow kit. And there are thousands of these available on the market. Rather than getting a brow pencil, which will basically do you as one, maybe two items, you want a brow kit, and you want a specific brow kit. You want a brow kit that has got a couple of shades of brown and then a light pastel colour in it that is close to your skin tone, close to the sort of powder that you might use to cover your face. I've got an old one here that I've had for a number of years, and this is 17's Brows That. I think this is the light kit, and as you can see, it has two dark colours and a very light powder colour here. It also comes with a pencil. Unfortunately, Boots no longer sell this one, but it has been, as you can see, I've used it a lot and I've got a lot of use out of it. And it has a mirror in it. So again, this is a good one to get if you're out and about and this isn't your emergency kit, because you've got a mirror that you can work with. An alternative is this one from Freedom, which again, I haven't been able to locate anywhere except Amazon. This was relatively inexpensive. It comes with 3 shades of brown and an eyebrow wax. It did also have, many moons ago, a little tiny brush for application and a pair of tweezers. Those long ago got lost. But if this is your emergency kit and you're running into the shop to pick something up as an emergency, then all of those bits and pieces are in there. But the big tip for this is to get something with a reasonable dark brown on it and a fairly light powder that you can use on your face. I'm going to use the 17 one because, well, I'm trying to use it up. But the other thing is, you are going to need some tools to put this makeup on. Anyone who tells me that they can put their makeup on without brushes is probably fooling themselves as to what they can achieve. So, again, if you rush into somewhere like Boots or one of the big pharmacies, or even a big supermarket, you'll be able to buy some fairly decent brush kits. You will need the little brush from your eyebrow kit. You'll need a fairly decent sized brush and a slightly smaller brush, and then I would say a powder brush. Now, because I've lost the little tiny brush from my eyebrow kit, I'm also going to use a small Real Techniques brush, but imagine that this is only this long and came out of one of my eyebrow kits. Artistic license, if you like. I'm going to work with the 17 brow kit. I'm going to start with my eyebrows. Don't worry, we'll come back to the face. I'm just going to take this medium dark brown, is actually quite a good brown for me, and I'm just going to brush in my eyebrows. So there we've got eyebrows, and I've used what you would expect. I've used my eyebrow kit to do my eyebrows. What's new here so far? Well, what I'm going to do is, instead of using a powder because I've got these shiny bits under my chin and there's a few bits where I'm glistening where I don't particularly want to glisten, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take from Real Techniques, this is their mini, is it their mini? No, what do they call it? Mini multitask brush. And it's a very small little powder brush. It's a great one for when you're traveling, but it's also not a huge amount of money to buy. So I'm going to take that one and I'm going to dip it carefully into this cream powder that I've got on the end of this brow kit, if you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to touch the places where I'm glowing a little bit more than I really want to glow. And you know what? You might use more powder in this brow kit than you really would normally. But hey, this is your emergency kit. So there I've just managed to knock off some of that shine that the e.l.f. foundation left me with. I'm really going to make this kit work for me. So I'm going to take my skinny brush again, and this one's got a little wax kind of in the side, so I'm going to use that as eyeliner. See how that works for me. Okay, that's not working well for me at all. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the center powder that I used for my eyebrows, and I'm going to use that as my eyeliner. There we go, that's better. Okay, and we might come back to the eyeliner a little bit later on. I think I might want to deepen that a little bit more. But I have no eyeshadow now because I'm trying to keep the cost of this down to the bare minimum. What are we going to do for eyeshadow? Well, you could just buy an individual blusher, or if you shop around a little bit more, you might be able to get one of these trios. And this is a trio that has a contour and a blusher in it. And again, another handy little mirror. But what we're going to use is we're going to use this colour on the end here as a transition colour. Now, taking the bigger of the two fluffy brushes you've just bought, take that into that brown colour and use that as your transition. So take that into the crease. And there you go, you've got your transition colour going on. So then with your next smaller brush, the other one from this, remember this comes as a 2-brush kit in Boots and in several places I've found it, but not a huge amount of money. We can then go into the blush colour and we can use that as our eyeshadow. So just take that in. Okay, so we've now made our blush double up as our eyeshadow. Now I'm just going to take the bigger of the 2 brushes again and blend that out a little bit. Just make those lines a little less harsh. Remember that the secret to doing good makeup is not the price of the products, it's not the amount of products that you've got, it's how you use it. And one of the biggest tricks to make even the worst eyeshadow work better is to blend, 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 blend. So I'm quite happy with that as an eyeshadow. I'm going to leave it there for the moment, and we're going to return back to that brow kit because I need a contour. So that brown in the middle there, I'm just going to take that again as my contour, and I'm using my larger of the 2 eyeshadow brushes. Now you're probably looking at this and going, Judy, what are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? Trust me, I can make it work. Now you're going to take that powder brush, the multitask powder brush, and blend. And keep blending until you're happy with the way that that contour is looking. There we go. Now it looks a little bit grey cast at the moment, but that's where our next tip comes in. So now we're going to switch back to that blusher trio that I've got, and I'm going to dip my multitask brush into the blusher, and we're just going to sweep that onto the cheekbones. That pink comes up very pink, so if needs be, take your beauty blender and just blend it out a bit so that you don't look like a clown. I wasn't completely happy with the eyeliner, so this is my next little trick for sorting it out and saving yourself on a bit of eyeliner. You're going to take your mascara. Now I always use a waterproof mascara because I find that particularly in this cold climate my eyes water all the time and it's a real pain. I'm just going to take my mascara and I'm going to dip my brush into the bristles of the mascara and pick up a little bit of that mascara on the brush. And then you're going to use your mascara as your liquid liner. Now you're never going to get a sharp wing. This is an emergency. This is not high fashion. And I'm just going to take a little on the lower lash line. And now I'm going to take the mascara and use it as a mascara. What a shock. Okay, it's not going to win any awards, but it'll get me through an event. Finally, I'm going to put on some lipstick. And lipsticks you can pick up for very little money. Nearly every pharmacy that you ever walk into, every supermarket will have lipsticks. So just go for what you like and what suits your skin tone. I'm using the e.l.f. lipstick in Cake by Revolution. And if you wanted to, your lipstick can also double up as a blusher. Can work as an eyeshadow, but I find that with eyes as creasy as mine, it just creases up and I end up with no shadow on. So I much prefer to use a powder as an eyeshadow. So I'll use blusher as my eyeshadow rather than my lipstick as my eyeshadow. But if you wanted to, you can get away with using lipstick as both blusher and eyeshadow and get a fairly complete comprehensive look. So that's what I would do if I was stuck in the middle of nowhere and I'd forgotten my makeup. This is what I'm talking about for a basic makeup. Now, in the description box, you'll find a list of the items that I've used and mentioned, except for the mascara. And the reason I haven't mentioned the mascara is that it's from Kmart in Australia, and I haven't been up there. Are no Kmarts here in the UK, so I haven't been able to link it to it. All of the links that I've added are Amazon links. If you click through to those and you choose to buy from Amazon, then I earn a tiny percentage of the sale, and that helps me out a huge amount, so I appreciate it when you do, but you don't have to. I will point out that nearly all of these items are available from either Boots or Superdrug's websites and at slightly lower prices than the Amazon links that I've provided, but I don't have an affiliate link with Boots, and sometimes it's nice to go and shop in a one-stop shop. But if you don't like the look of the stuff that I used, or you don't like the price of the stuff that I used, this is what we're talking about. This is an imaginary scenario. You are out, you've forgotten your makeup, you're supposed to be going to an event, and you need to be able to do a basic face fairly quickly for not a huge amount of money. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button, because that really helps me out. It gets the video shared a lot on a wider circle. And if you like the content and the sort of things that I'm doing, then please feel free to hit the subscribe button, which is down here in the bottom corner. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thanks very much for stopping by. Bye!